Wells Radio 893, Facebook Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, X Wells Radio 893. Follow our WhatsApp channel Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get a scoop on upcoming shows, giveaways and events. Also get to interact with your favorite presenters and share your thoughts on our posts and stories. Join the conversation and stay tuned into Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, welcome and welcome. Top of the morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this great Friday morning on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, and your state's number one family radio station. Can I shock you a little? When I looked at the date and I saw that today's 17, I was a bit shocked. But today is the 17th day in the month of April, 2026. And gradually we're moving by the grace of God and, of course, by His mercies. We're moving. How are you doing? How is all the content? Your hope is well, your family, yourself, and, of course, all that is around you. I hope all is going on well. I can understand that sometimes it feels like you're not moving, but hey, just take it one step at a time. There's an appointed time for every man under the sun. So do not pressure yourself. Do not pressure yourself. You're doing well. Social media is deceiving you. You are doing well. All right? God bless you. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. Perspectives Unlimited is the program. And on this program, we bring you up to speed with stories, headlines, and of course, in-depth analysis of stories making the rounds in our nation, Nigeria, for today. And right here from our studio, it is 6:36 a.m., 89.3 FM, Wells Radio, broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alaafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. Once again, welcome to the show. This morning on the program, we have The Punch, The Nigerian Tribune, and The Vanguard. In a moment, we will scan through the front pages, and right after that, we'll dive straight into in-depth analysis for the program. Do stay with us. Let's begin with the Punch newspaper on page 43. 2027 battle. Tinubu fires shots at opposition heavyweight. You find that on page 43. On page 44, U.S. ambassador posts vacant in Nigeria. 116 countries report. U.S. ambassador posts vacant in Nigeria. 116 countries, says report. If only individuals can apply. I'm sure some Nigerians would apply, to some other nations. But hey, let's move on to page 2. Federal government moves to tighten airport and prison security. That's the major story on page 2. Police, NIS, NTSOs on red alert to contain threats. 744 ex-terrorists graduate from rehabilitation camp. What exactly does that mean? We'll get straight into it. And security experts demand drastic action against terrorism. On page 5, UTME candidates, travelers abducted in Benue attack. And on page 27, no plan to borrow from IMF's $50 billion fund, says the federal government. And of course, here on the photo story, you can see the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, receiving the symbolic key to the 24 brand new car trained for the Red Line in China on Thursday. Now we move on to the Nigerian Tribune. On page 3, gunmen abduct 14, including UTME candidate in Benue, boss attack. The writer says 2.2 million seats for 2026 UTME world nationwide. Candidate free to wear hijab into the exam hall, says the board. And on page 3, security forces on high alert for large-scale attack on airport prison. Memo says. Major story on the Tribune. 2027 presidency. No one can scare me. Tinubu vows. It's turn of the South presidency, replies Atiku. On page 26, court issues warrant of arrest against the ex-minister Farouk, one order. On page 5, CBN pegs BVN enrollment age at 18, limits phone number changes. On page 6, Odua investment Electron Energy Seal $40 million deal. On page 19, Oyo State Speaker escapes impeachment. On page 19, as Makinde intervened. On page 5, oil marketers blame the rising cost of jet AI on global supply disruption, logistic expenses. And finally, on page 3, police arrest 6 in Ondo for planning bomb attack. And Finally, we move on to the Vanguard. Inflation rise poses significant risk to business sustainability, says the LCCI. Page 7, how terror attack ended last convention between Brigadier General Brima Twin Brother. Twin Brother called repeatedly without response, says relative. Says news reached us at 6:30 a.m. Okwebolo grants scholarship to children. On page 5, rising cost. IMF warns of tough times for Nigerians. Urge physical discipline as food transport prices surge. Flags rising debt burden, says debt to GDP staying at 33.1% by 2027. Analyst backs IMF, urge federal government to utilize oil windfall efficiency. Gunmen abduct 14 UTME candidate in Benue. Sad story, I must say. School owner, 4 others kidnapped in Kwara. You find that on page 40 of the Vanguard. 10 trucks Tokumbo car dealers use to, or 10 tricks, Tokumbo car dealers used to rip off customers on page 14. And on page 8, 2027, Tinubu dares Atiku Obi El-Rufai. You can't scare me. The rider, Tinubu, will do 8 years like Buhari Ononuga, tells Atiku. And of course, the photo story here where the president meets the renewed hope ambassador leadership. You can see some state governors also in that photograph. Please get a copy of the Vanguard newspaper to see that. We'll take a break. When we come back, we start looking at the stories one after the other, while, of course, our analyst will be doing that for us. To stay with us.
The People's Democratic Party. None of the conventions that I attended, and I attended all of them, and the former Vice President can bear me witness to this. Peter Obi can bear me witness. Tambua can bear me witness. There's so many other members here, but none is 50% as organized as this convention today. Today marks the beginning of our journey to the villa. And all of you here are part of this history. By next year, when we move to the villa, I will remind you again. This is an excellent performance. Within a very short time, I was discussing with the National Secretary, and we agreed that we will still make time to see you and your committee especially, and appreciate you. For the delegates, ADC is unique. You are simply wonderful people, simply wonderful. There is no words adequate to adequately describe you, but you've done wonderfully well, and our journey to the villa has started. We are going to continue this journey. We are not going to stop anymore. We started it in good shape. With these few remarks, we spent the whole day here. I would like to officially declare this convention closed. Thank you, and the good Lord bless you, all of you.
Please be seated. I'm inspired. I'm ready. I'm grateful to all of you. This is an opportunity of lifetime. to break the shackle of poverty, ignorance, to put freedom in the hearts of our people, to ensure democracy survives. Not the noise making, not the rascality of a street convention. We cannot submit to disobedience of a lawful order of the court. We must embrace the judiciary, whether it favors us or it doesn't. We submit to this principle of democracy, separation of power, and understanding of the dynamics of it, and the nationhood that Nigeria is. That we must build one country. There's no other way to the path that we embrace to national greatness other than build one nation, one common vision for progress, prosperity of our people. That's what we must do. That's what Renew Hope is all about. You must give them that hope. But try as much as possible. Men and women of integrity that are here in this room, to build a Nigeria. They want to scare me off. It's a lie. I've been through this path before. And if I have to come back over and over and over again, I'll do the same thing.
Right, you're welcome back to the program. Thank you once again for joining us on the program, Perspectives Unlimited, for today. Great Friday morning, and of course, this is the weekend edition of the program. Remember, tomorrow you join the round table once it is 8 o'clock right here on this great radio dial. Let's dive straight into the conversation for this morning. All right, and we're going to start with, of course, usually would look at some of the biggest stories that made the rounds on the weekend. The one from the speech of the president that you listened to a while ago also topped the list. They want to scare me. Who on earth in Nigeria would scare Mr. President? We'll look at that in a moment. However, just this week also, the former Vice President, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, says the 2027 election will be my last outing, says Atiku Abubakar. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that audio out in time. I would have loved to, play it for you to listen to it, from the horse's mouth himself. The former Vice President, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, says the 2027 election will be his last outing. Atiku, who has been contesting for presidency since 1992, that's about 34 years ago, disclosed this during an interview on Arise Television Primetime on Wednesday. The The 2027 election will be my last outing, he said. Asked why should Nigerians take the risk of choosing him after so many previous attempts, considering his age, the ex-vice president says Nigeria has a leadership problem, adding that his experience as former vice president and military governor of the state set him apart from Bola Tinubu. There is a clear and stark difference, he said. Take the cases if state governors in a number of states being headed by relative young people and failing woefully simply because at the apex they do not have capable and experienced president to guide them and to give them the benefit of his experience. That's why we have been having a number of woeful leadership in a number of states, because they are being handled or headed by inexperienced young men, he said. According to him, inexperienced leadership in presidency during the administration of the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, article said Jonathan's inexperience contributed to the problem faced under his administration. We're going to start our conversation from that point this morning. And of course, with me in the studio this morning to help us understand all of this is Mr. Olale Konsoni. Good morning to you, and how are you doing?
Good morning, Chief. Alhamdulillah. How about you?
I'm very well, thank you. And how has your week been?
I can only say Olorunse.
Oluwase. How has the few thing been dealing with you?
It used to be scarce.
Have you been buying at 600 naira? Maybe there's some reservoir somewhere.
I hope I'm pretty
where after analyzing Nigerian issues, someone just calls you and say, come take like 100 liters.
It won't be a bad idea. It won't be a bad idea at all.
I can only imagine. All right, let's start with this.
Please let me say something. On a very soft note here, please.
Yeah.
I was somewhere on Saturday, last Saturday.
All right.
And I was having a banter with someone I usually have, a short time with anytime I'm around him. And someone just walked up to me. You are Mr. Sani.
Interesting stuff.
And I was like,
okay.
who are you, please? I was very, very polite and kind.
Yeah.
Who are you, please? Oh, I am sure you are Mr. Sani. Upon hearing my voice again. And I was like, how exactly did you know me? Oh, I've been listening to you on radio. And you have been fun. You mean the person said a lot of, especially even when I had to say something that actually shocked me. Oh, I'm very, very sorry. I should have actually taken a very good care of you here.
Oh, my
minding
goodness.
what you say, but please, I don't have. No, don't stress yourself, please. Don't stress yourself, please. I mean, it was a bit, it threw me off my balance.
Yeah.
Because I
Please
wasn't expecting
be
that.
safe.
The truth of the matter is that, going by what the person said, it is good to be good.
Oh, yeah.
If I had been saying nonsense here, oh, that's the idiot that has been saying.
I mean, it's about two sides.
That is
some would think you're saying something.
If the majority says you are fine, you are fine.
Oh, well.
That is it.
Please be safe again. All right. I want to take it from the statement of the former president, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, I beg your pardon, where he said, of course, this will be the 2027 election, will be his last shot at it. However, before I wanted to say something at that, in his statement, he referred to the inexperience of Goodluck Jonathan. For a lot of people, the previous election, maybe for some, I would have thought that would be his last shot, knowing that he probably should be 80 this year or the next, if I'm not mistaken. This year. And so I was thinking, well, right after the last election, I don't think Alhaji Atiku Abubakar should come back again until, of course, saying that Baba is still very active and getting to hear that this will be his last shot. Well, that's up to him. But that statement saying that the inexperience of Goodluck Jonathan contributed to the problems he had during his administration, I'd like you to, look at that and then bring us back to his last shot. And, of course, the age factor that comes to leadership in Nigeria. He also referred to inexperienced young men leading states and then bringing us to some of the issues we're having in the nation.
Thank you very much. In all seriousness, I like Jonathan's personality. I mean, he's a very, very gentle guy. He's not the gra-gra type of politician that we have in this country. But in reality, I've said it in this studio before, and until someone can come up with a convincing argument, I believe I'll keep saying it. Nigeria started rolling off the cliff under the administration of Goodluck Jonathan. And, there is a difference between being gentle and being meek. And Jonathan was meek, in my opinion. I don't want to say weak, I would say meek. That's one. Number two, he clearly had no blueprint. And number three, he was grossly inexperienced. Let's talk about what happened as of what was obtainable as of the time he came on board as president, and what was when he was leaving. When he became president, Nigeria was 100% safe and secure. 100% safe and secure. There was no part of the country you would want to go to and say, "Oh, am I sure I'm going to come back?" But when he was leaving as president, the entire northeast was a no-go area. I mean, that's clear enough. That's clear enough. When he became president, of course, it's nothing compared to what's on the ground right now, but the conversion rate for the dollar against the naira was 147 or thereabouts. When he was leaving, it was 232. I mean, that's still something. He said something that till this very present day I still cannot wrap my head around it. And that's that. Now, when Nigerians started screaming about, insecurity and all of that, he said, "Oh, you do not understand what Boko Haram is about. Boko Haram is a very, very tough game. In fact, they're even in my cabinet." And I was like, "Sir, you just said what? Who appointed your cabinet for you? You chose your cabinet for you. And now you are telling us that Boko Haram members are there. If truly they are there, why can't you sack them out?" Yeah. When Yaradua left, there were some people who were very, very vocal in defense of Umar Musa Yaradua. The Minister of Agric then, Sahid Abaruma, the Attorney General then, Hando Aka. He sacked them simply because they didn't feel like they were loyal to him. So if anybody was in your government, going by what happened to Said Abaruma and Hando Aka, you could have sacked them, but you chose to keep them there. And you are telling us that Boko Haram is. I like him because he's a cool guy. But that's just where it stops. Every other thing about the guy is negative, and I don't like to dwell on the past. Let's discuss the present. As regards Atiku Abubakar's so-called final shot, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we will be saying this is my last shot. A lot of people had thought that he was going to stop the campaign in 2015, 2020, 2019, 2023, but he never said that was going to be his final stop. Now he has said that it is his final stop. God's will be done. If he's the one who's going to positively transform Nigeria, so be it. If he's not the one who's not going to transform Nigeria, by another person will. But for me, it's not really about age. I know too well that it's good to have a young person where there is vigor, where there is vitality, where you can move from here to that place in a flash. I understand too well, but at this particular point in time, I think we are in a situation where we just have to keep our cards open. Let's see who has the best idea. Let's see who has the best blueprint for us. I wouldn't want a case of, this party has decided that this person is going to be our candidate. If we can have a debate for all of them, let's now weigh them up. Let's know.
But let's look at the resume here. Okay. Goodluck Jonathan was one-time deputy governor,
yes,
and then also governor,
yes,
and then vice president, yes, and then president.
Yes.
Atiku Abubakar was one-time military governor.
Okay. No. He was customs officer.
Okay, in the civil service,
yes,
and then vice president,
yes,
and then now wanting to be president. If you put it side by side, what should make Goodluck Jonathan inexperienced and make Atiku Abubakar more experienced?
I cannot speak for Atiku Abubakar. He will have to tell us what he wants to do. It's at that point we will now say, okay, this guy knows what he wants to do. This guy doesn't know what he wants to do. Sir, let me tell you something. It's not until you have occupied all the offices in the world that you will be deemed as someone who is logical and strategic. Sometimes we have someone who was councillor, who was chairman, who was House of Representatives, who was this, who was that. Until today, is still going to be a very silly guy. I mean, no disrespect to Akpabio. Akpabio was commissioner, he was governor, he was senator, he was minister. Today, he's Senate president. I mean, what can you say about the guy? And sometimes you find someone who I'm not a fan of Seyi Makinde, but it's going to be disrespectful to Seyi Makinde to put him side by side with Godswill Akpabio. And Seyi Makinde is having his face
for short cuts.
He's having his face in the public space as governor for the first time. And you can't compare the two of them. So it's not until you hold all the offices in the world, it's actually what you are made of. That is it.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back right after the break, who is scaring Mr. President? We'll look at that and more when we come back. Stay with us.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data. Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service. One Data? Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811-223-2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alaafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903-936-8185. Call Toby on 0803-509-3394. Ayo on 0706-840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
what's up?
Baby, let's go! Hey there! Want to stay connected to your favorite radio station? Follow us on social media for the latest updates, entertaining wholesome content, and behind-the-scene peaks. We're on Instagram at Wells Radio 893, Facebook Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, X Wells Radio 893. Follow our WhatsApp channel Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get a scoop on upcoming shows, giveaways, and events. Also get to interact with your favorite presenters and share your thoughts on our posts and stories. Join the conversation and stay tuned into Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
You're welcome back to the program. Thank you once again for joining us on the show, Perspectives Unlimited, for today. Remember, you can join the conversation this morning on the show. You can call us in right into the studio to share your thought with us on 0916-893-1000, 0915-334-893, and 0911-333-893. 2027 battle. Tinubu faces shots at opposition heavyweights. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday said no amount of pressure or intimidation would distract him from his decision job. This was as he reaffirmed his administration's commitment to reform agenda, which he said was already yielding results for Nigerians. He stated this at the State House in Abuja during a meeting with the leadership and coordinators of the Renewed Hope Ambassador, a political mobilization network inaugurated weeks earlier to carry the administration's message to the grassroots. He said, "They want to scare me off. It's a lie. I have been through this part before, and if I have to come back over and over again, I'll do the same. There is no better place than your own country, and no one can build it except you." Who is scaring, Mr. President?
Thank you very much, and welcome back. As far as I'm concerned, I think it is his record that is actually scaring him as president. In all seriousness, the president is usually a very cocky person. For him to even acknowledge that he is under pressure, that some people are trying to scare him, shows that, in my opinion, that he is really, truly scared. And it's not because of the fact that there is a gang up in the area of politics against his political interests is because of the fact that he knows too well within himself that he doesn't have what it takes to come and face Nigerians, that this is what I have done in the last 3-4 years, as it may be. But like I said, I think he is scared, truly. He is truly scared. He's not the type of person who usually says, okay.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, and thank you for calling.
Thank you, sir. Ruth calling from Alakia.
Thank you, Ruth, for calling us. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. As regards the president's statement, it's just so laughable to see an underperforming administration seek for re-election despite their failure. But we in Nigeria, we keep complaining on everything on daily basis, yet meaningful action remains absent. So it's so obvious that this government has limited capacity to deliver results. They are just after the tithe and they have got it. So it's high time we Nigeria wake up. We can't continue like this. And opposition should please keep staying united, because what we want is change come 2027, but we don't want this hardship again. I just hope God will continue to help Nigeria. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Ruth, for your opinion.
For me, I think he is really, truly scared. And if he was really in office doing things for Nigerians, and he has been in office for some time, if he has been doing things that would uplift the well-being of the people, he wouldn't be scared. He would actually be very, very happy right now. Oh, you want to challenge him? Oh, not my problem. Go and tell the people. Go and face them. Go and tell them what you want to do. Let the people now judge. But that's not the case. It's a case of, grandstanding. Oh, you can't touch me. You can't. Well, for me, he's scared. He's scared. I understand political communication very, very clearly. And from what he said yesterday, it shows that, yes, he is scared.
All right. It shows that the president is scared. I asked you a question before we started the show when we played the voice of David Mark at the recently concluded convention of the ADC. And I said, how buoyant is this political party? And I'm asking that question because, hey, this is not strange to Nigeria, that when it comes to the election season, there's a lot of money flying around. And then the ruling party, the APC, obviously, is at the center of governance in the nation at the time. So financially, that they may not be, their pocket is full to throw some money around.
Okay, don't yourself.
I mean, but for the ADC, the so-called opposition, because I'm thinking here, if the president says, they want to scare me off, he probably would be referring to the ADC at the moment and not the PDP. But how buoyant is that political party to face the 2027 election coming up soon? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chief. The truth of the matter is that unless you want to spend oxygen out of your lungs, there is no way, absolutely no way you can compete financially with the ruling party. Is that how it is supposed to be? Nope.
Let's take this. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Good. Oh, Aderonke. Thank you.
Yeah. What are we really enjoying under this administration? Because to me, we are not benefiting anything. Yes, it's only death. Our death gets consistent. Just to look at Nigerians per head. Each of us is in 724,000 naira. And our debt is now up to trillion. So just take a look at seriously. From 2027, we Nigerians should decide our place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aderonke.
Like I was saying, there is no way they can compete with the ruling party. But it's not the first time that an opposition party is going to give... See, let me tell you something, Chief. If you are running an opposition party...
We have another call on the line. Sorry. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, Mr. Salami from Aoto. Thank you for calling.
God bless you, sir. A weekend. Ambassador Sonia, how are you, sir? Yes, he deserves it. Ambassador Sonia, well done, sir. Hey, so my name is Salami. I'm calling from Aoto. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. You see, if Mr. President says you cannot scare me, so that means, in fact, we are beginning to. In fact, I think it's the beginning of beautiful days ahead that we are about to witness in this country, honestly speaking. So, like, if Mr. President is feeling scared, the opposition too, they are feeling scared. And so, I just pray and hope that the opposition will be able to kind of present a formidable candidate. As I've said, I'm not against the president coming back. I don't have anything personal against him, but I want my country to be robust financially, economically, militarily, security-wise, and everything. Is it Mr. President has put himself in a tight corner on it that he has found himself? Mr. President Tinubu has all the opportunity to even scare the opportunity, to scare the opposition. The opposition in the last 3 years, honestly speaking. So the opposition should now be the hunted instead of the Mr. President now. Because if Mr. President, if election had been done, people have been against. You can imagine the last two callers on this morning. What they have changed on has already been what have been benefiting from this government. And if you sample 10 Nigerians, probably 7 will say so. What are you actually benefiting from this country? And that means to them, this government is not existing. That's the truth. So meanwhile, Mr. President should have even scared the opposition with his performance. But I wish him good luck. Come 2020. But my appeal is that they should allow a free contest. They should stop using INEC and the to protect his integrity, his dignity as a professor of law. He should protect his integrity, and that he should know the max, the highest time he will spend in that office on that seat is 8 years. So please, they should kind of allow a free contest. As for Atiku, finally, please. As for Atiku, saying this is going to be his last shot. For me, I wish him well. If it's the one God says he will help us to kind of, how do I put it now, resuscitate Nigeria, because right now Nigeria is already on oxygen, so on life support. So if God says he's the one that will help us resuscitate the country, good luck to him. If God says it will never get there, and that he won't get there, well, so be it too. But I just want my country to bounce back economically, so that at least I will say I have a country. I have a visa to travel to Germany years back. I refused, honestly speaking, because I thought I had a country. But today I'm regretting it. Yeah, that's just it. So may God help Nigeria. I want Nigeria to bounce back to what it was 80s and 90s. May God help Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami.
If you run an opposition party and you believe that the currency you want to spend is the currency of Naira and Kobo, you have lost. The currency you can only spend as an opposition party is the currency of ideas, an alternative solution to what is on the ground. If you want to compete financially, if that is your strategy, trust me, you have lost the battle before it even starts. So for me, they will never have what the ruling party has financially. And the earlier they realize that, the better for them. It's not that they are not going to be able to do anything. I mean, these are guys who have one or two things that are bringing money into their pockets daily. So for me, I believe they will still be. And Chief, let me tell you something. Politics is another name for treasury. There are reports that in 2023, a lot of people who are on the side of the current president were even with the ones bankrolling the opposition then. So, bros, forget about money. Money will definitely come. At least money to organize campaigns, rallies, and all of that. They are going to have that. But it will be very foolish of them to say, oh, what we want to do now is to now match the incumbent administration in the name of jingles and all of that. No, you can't do that. Instead, find a way to polish your analysis, your talking points, your strategy, your manifesto, such that anytime you open your mouth, it's going to be TKO for the ruling party. That is what can help them. Not that you want to match them advert for advert, jingle for jingle. If that's the case, waste of time.
Let's go to another story. Federal government moves to tighten airport and prison security amid a suspected insurgent plot targeting public facilities such as the airport and the correctional facilities in Abuja and neighboring Niger State. Security agencies have moved to reinforce the site. The Nigeria Police Force, the Nigeria Immigration Service, and the Nigeria Correctional Service told The Punch on Thursday that they have proactively strengthened security around the airport and custodian centers. The Washington Post had reported an internal memo of the Nigerian Customs Service, which is close planned by terrorists to attack the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport and Kuje Correctional Center in the FCT and the prison facility in Niger State. It said the attacks are being planned by fighters of the Islamic State of West African province, Boko Haram, Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam, and then the memo dated the 13th of April and signed by Timi Bomodi, a deputy controller in charge of enforcement, inspection and investigation unit, stated the terrorists are also targeting the military detention facility in Niger State. The federal government is set to tighten up security in that area. This is not the first time that we're getting threats at our public facilities, you know, and it's painful when we keep getting tightening up here and there. And so what this may mean to a lot of people is that when we're not getting threats, it's like the security would loosen up a bit, and then when we get threats, it tightens up. How much time do we have to tighten our seatbelt and lose our seatbelt?
We don't have any time. As citizens of Nigeria, we shouldn't even know about those things.
We shouldn't know about them.
We shouldn't know about them. That is, if the guys who are employed to do their job are doing their job very effectively. It should be an internal thing. And in all seriousness, knowing that your country has issues with insurgency and the likes, you do not have any minute, not even a second to relax. You must be on top of your game 24/7 because these guys are actually looking for loopholes. And the moment you present one, a strike. My point here is this. Things are not looking good for West Africa. Until very, very recently, in at least 12 years, there has been no love lost between ISWAP and Boko Haram. But now, the two of them have actually come together to be on the same page. That is why there is a nasty increase in the activities of these guys. Now, this is why they are now, before they used to fight themselves, kill themselves to the tune of hundreds, but now they are working together. And that means that we have more work to do. Because if your enemies have suddenly become friends, trust me, you are in soup. That is what Nigeria is facing right now. I got my own intel that they want to do to Nigeria exactly what they did to Niger Republic. In Niger Republic, they destroyed the airport such that flights cannot move in, cannot move out of the country. And that is what ISWAP did in Niger Republic. They now want to repeat the same feat in Nigeria. Not just that they want to destroy the airport, they also want to find a way to bring the guys who have already been captured out of the prison. There is a dedicated prison for them somewhere between Abuja and Niger State, where the government keeps people like that. In all seriousness, I don't know why the government is keeping these people. These are people who have shown clearly that what interests them is killing you. And yet, when you lay your hands on them, you keep them. For what reason? So that you can release them later in the name of all repentant bandits. And the cycle continues. Mm-hmm. If they had done what the terrorists would have done to them if it were the terrorists who captured them, would we be talking about a proposed jailbreak?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, ITV1.
Good morning, Benga Mario. Thank you for calling.
Benga Mario calling from Apata.
You're most welcome, sir.
Why would you try to integrate 744 repentant Boko Haram? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, why would you try to integrate 744 repentant Boko Haram back into the military formation? They will serve as saboteurs. They will serve as they will release information into the enemy. And now we'll be saying that our people are being killed, our military personnel are being killed on a daily basis. Why won't they be killed? Because they infiltrated the repentant Boko Haram back into the military. And this is not a very good one. And on the issue of the Gambians that are being abducted yesterday, if I were to be the president of this country, I would have requested that the exam should not have been held yesterday. I would have placed the exam on hold. So not until those when those 14 or 15 jams will be released. Now only God knows the trauma those little kids is facing by now. The only fault they committed is just that they wanted to better their law by writing an exam, and the government has failed in protecting their life. Could you as well imagine what would be the parents of those children will be facing? And all we are hearing now is that they are talking about 2027. The abduction is not being the government, they are not concerned about it, and this is not a great one. When we take politics in our heart so much that the insecurity of this country is not even a paramount concern to our leaders, doesn't show that they have to do that. And this is not a good one for this country.
All right.
Thank you very much. And God
Thank
bless
you. Thank you so much, Bengamaro. Do have a great day.
So now they are planning to go to Niger State to free their comrades. And beyond that, they also want to destroy the Abuja airport. And the government needs to know exactly what it is doing, because it's not the first time they will be striking a jail in Nigeria. They have done that in Abuja itself, the Federal Capital Territory. They have done that in Borno, Yobe. For me, it's the government that is actually giving them the incentive by keeping these people. Why keep them in the first instance? I mean, there is no repentant terrorist. Now they are going to release 700 of them. 700.
What do you think is the strategy for this statement of, I mean, while forgiveness is divine, which is great. However, I'm just thinking, what's the idea behind bringing them into the workforce, the military?
No, they are not in the military. See, a lot of mistakes are flying around in the name of Phoenix Browser and Opera News. They are not in the Army, they are not in the Navy, they are not even in the civil defense. What they do, which in my belief is a strategy to keep the crisis running, is that once they lay their hands on them, they will say, oh, they have been de-radicalized. I don't know what that means in the real sense of it, because you cannot de-radicalize a terrorist. Only for them to release the people back into the system. And you think there will not be more people who are aiming bullets at me? It's going to happen. So for me, I think it's the military strategy for keeping this thing running so that money can keep flowing. That is my personal opinion. Until we stop this thing, we will keep talking about the same thing. If you are a terrorist, if you are caught aiming guns at innocent people, I think what you said should come to play at that particular point. Forgiveness is divine. So what you do as a government is to present that person before God, for God to either forgive or otherwise.
All right, finally, before we go, I'd just like you to say a word or two on this. IMF says the one of tougher times for Nigerians. Say Nigerians may face tougher economic conditions in the near term as rising food and transportation costs continue to squeeze households' income and amid lingering global shocks.
We have been down this path since 2023, and things only look like they are going to get worse. And the reason why it's like this is because of the fact that the government keeps borrowing money they don't need. And you will have to service it, whether you need it or you don't need it. Once you take it, you must service it.
The federal government says here that they are not taking more loans.
No, they are not.
I think it's on the Vanguard.
No, the IMF has a $50 billion package they want to give people. I mean, countries that they may want to borrow. Nigeria is saying that they don't want that. But do you know how much you have borrowed? Okay, maybe I should tell you. Are you aware that you are actually owing 724,000?
Well, I haven't gotten a debt paper in my name, but I'm aware that Nigerians...
You don't have to get an alert or anything, but for as long as you are a Nigerian, you didn't receive a kobo in your pen in your account, but trust me, you are owing 724,000. In this year alone, and that was for last year. In this year alone, 3 months of 2026, they have borrowed another 8.1 trillion. 8.1 trillion. So if you had that with what was on the ground, maybe you're owing 800K now.
It is well. Sulaiman Sharif on Facebook says, good morning and happy Friday. Tinubu says he's not scared, but his actions suggest otherwise. A leader who is truly confident does not suppress opposition parties or shrink the democratic space. Kudos to everyone in the studio. If indeed the president is fearless, he should stop intimidating opposition parties and their ex-leaders and allow a level playing field. In 2015, the ex-president, Goodluck Jonathan, showed what real courage looks like by creating a free and fair environment for political competition. Nigeria deserves that standard again. Not bold claims, but bold democratic actions. Thank you. That's all we can take this morning. Thank you so much for your time.
It is always an honor to be here.
All right, that's our show for today. Remember that the stories and the intention of the headline report is to ensure that we keep you abreast of stories making the round to Nigeria, not an intentional approach to depress you, to make you feel bad, or to serve you hard or depressing stories in the morning. I love to say that you extract your prayer point from all of these stories, pray for Nigeria, and of course from all of this again, you can make a good decision, even as we approach the forthcoming general election. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. God bless Nigeria. Good morning.
Please listen to this important information.